That's not a prediction. That's a spoiler.
Hello weebs and welcome to my take on the series where I give my 2 cents of opinion on anime, cartoons, movies, shows? I don't know. I'll do anything that I feel like. Today we're going to be discussing an anime that in recent memory had a lot of potential. Like when I say a lot of potential, a lot of potential. Like I don't like recent anime, but that was one anime that I really liked. Until it got ruined by its second season. If you already haven't picked up on it today, you've already read the title. Today we're going to be talking about The Promised Neverland. Now, before we go any further, I think you guys should realize that I will not be talking about the season 2 of this anime because I would like to imagine that this season does not exist and is completely out of my memory. If only. So yeah, we'll be discussing season 1 of The Promised Neverland, and for those of you that haven't watched the anime and really want to watch the anime, I would suggest you first go watch the anime and then come back to this video because we will be diving into spoilers, but I will try not to go too spoilery because I want you guys to experience this anime and feel the things that I felt. So yeah, with all of that out of the way, let's get into the anime. So The Promised Neverland is a shonen anime that combines the elements of action, drama, thriller and horror, which is a very weird combo for a shonen to have, but it somehow does it and makes it work. And throughout the viewing experience, you're at the edge of your seat, silently gritting your teeth, hoping for the best for these children, and just having the occasional shouts of, "What? No! Oh shit!" and etc, etc, etc. And it's just amazing. It's just an amazing time with the anime, and it does things that you don't expect anime to do. For those of you that haven't seen the anime, the setting is an orphanage, where there are children, obviously. These children vary from the age of, I think, 7 to 12. I'm not sure what the age is, but yeah, that's the ages that they vary from. And they're being given proper education, proper food, and they're just overall having a fun time until they get adopted. They're all under the care of this caretaker called Mama Isabella, who is not evil apparently, and the children actually love her, which is quite a different thing for an orphanage-themed, fantasy world to have, because usually the Mama is the one who's always evil. And, well, we'll get to that. So yeah, that's the entire setting. Everyone loves the Mama and they're all having a good time. Then one day, this little girl, I think she was a girl. Yeah, Connie gets adopted and she gets taken off at night. And they're all sad, but at the same time really happy for her, as they should be, because she finally got adopted. As Connie leaves, she forgets her bunny rabbit, and Emma, our main protagonist, realizes that she forgot her bunny rabbit and along with Norman goes to return it to her because it's her bunny rabbit. And they leave at the night where they're not allowed to leave the house, but they still do because, oh no, the bunny rabbit and whatnot. So yeah, as they go and they try to find Connie and return her stuffed toy animal rabbit to her, they find out that Connie is dead. Yeah, I found out just as abruptly as you did, so yeah. And as soon as they find out Connie is dead, they understand the inner workings of this orphanage and what it actually is. So the orphanage, turns out, is actually a breeding ground for children that are being sold off to demons that are actually running this world. And as I say it out loud, it sounds very ridiculous, but trust me, it's not, and it's amazing. And so yeah, that's the entire point of the anime. Orphanage that is basically a Wagyu beef breeding ground, and the children that are the Wagyu beef are now trying to escape because they do not want to die. Simple. Now later Emma and Norman, they partner up with Ray, and now these three are now planning together to try and escape the orphanage with their brothers and sisters. But the problem is they can't, because they're technically here being held captive by Mama Isabella and whoever else runs the orphanage and whatnot. So now they have to escape and try to find out what's going on and how they can escape and what's outside and everything else and all these other mysteries, while trying to stay away from Mama Isabella and her radar. And on the flip side, Mama Isabella has figured out that someone does know, and she very quickly even figures out that these three are the ones that know, and how she finds out, that's another completely different thing that you guys need to experience on your own. But again, Mama Isabella finds out that these three are it, and now it's a game of cat and mouse where they're trying to avoid each other. Avoid in the sense, these three are trying to avoid Mama Isabella, whereas Mama Isabella is trying to just get direct proof that it's these three, so that she has genuine reason to punish them in front of the group and everyone, without trying to make everyone else realize what's going on and what's afoot. And it's just amazing. It is completely amazing, the dynamic of cat and mouse that these characters have. The other thing about the anime that is phenomenal is how they show these things. For example, what I mean to say here is the anime manages to induce fear and anxiety in you because of how it shoots these various scenes and how much tension it is able to create in various scenes. For example, that one scene where Mama Isabella catches Emma walking at night in the hallways or something. I do not remember what exact scene it was, but it was something along those lines. And you basically see the exact shift of emotions on Mama Isabella, where she goes from this happy-go-lucky mama who's loving and caring to this menacingly terrifying woman who will strangle you to death until you give her what she wants. And she just has that scary demeanor about her, and it's phenomenal. And we'll just get to the characters in a bit. But before we move further into what makes this anime tick for me, we need to talk about the production value of this anime. The animation, the shots that they've used, the OSTs that they've used, because they're amazing. Because in order to incorporate horror and a thriller aspect using animation, it's very, very difficult. But somehow this anime does it very well by having these very nice facial details, particularly on Mama Isabella, where I just mentioned earlier that her facial expression just completely changes. It's basically like she's wearing a mask, a fake mask, where she pretends to be happy in front of all of these children, and it just completely goes away where she feels threatened or where she might feel in control. During these two, emotional beats, she has a completely different face, which just adds a lot to the horror aspect of things. And aside from that, whenever Mama Isabella is just moving around and just roaming around, it is even just in the frame, she just adds a whole lot of tension to the anime and makes you feel genuinely scared, like why is she there, why is she watching and whatnot. And that is amazingly done, because they do it from a visual perspective. They do it in such a way that she's never the main focus of a shot, but you can always see her in the background, and you're just watching and noticing that, oh no, why is she there? So yeah, aside from that, the OSTs and the way they build up as the anime goes on is phenomenal as well. Like how tension just keeps going up as the OST rises, as the moment becomes closer and closer and closer, or at certain points the OST becomes, more silent, and at points goes to pin drop silence as the moment is about to occur. And those little things add a lot to the horror aspect, which is again very phenomenally done. But those aren't the things we need to talk about. The things we need to talk about are the characters in this anime. Those are the things that make this anime work, aside from the animation and whatnot, and the plot and whatnot. The three main characters, Ray, Emma, Norman, they're all phenomenal. They're very, very good. I think I've said phenomenal a lot, but yeah, they are phenomenal. What else do you want me to say? Emma is this ball of energy that fills you with joy and happiness, and you're just rooting for her. She's not that typical, that typical protagonist in a shonen where they just go Dattemayo and just bash into things. No, she does stupid things, but they're not very stupid. They're understandable from an emotional perspective under the setting that she's in. She's basically a very smart character that is definitely not manipulated, but is definitely driven by her emotions, but they make a lot of sense. Norman is a calculated cunt, basically. He weighs both sides of, whatever action they're going to be taking, the pros and the cons of it, and then comes to a decision regarding it. He tries to keep all of his emotions aside when he does these things, and he's just an overall big boy, smart ass that everyone loves, and it makes sense. Ray is the pessimistic bitch. Yeah. So Ray is the guy who always has an issue with whatever they present, and overall just a very, very edgy little prick. I would just call him young Sasuke. And yeah, but Ray has a very nice, cool aura about him that makes a lot of sense, and in a certain way he's also very badass as the anime transitions. Like, I don't know, I just really like Ray. I think he's one of the best characters in the anime. So yeah. And all of these characters interact with each other in a very, very nice way. Like, they all care for each other in the orphanage. They are all looking out for each other. They're all trying to figure out these various things that are going on in the anime while trying to be on the lookout. And it's just very, very nice. And it's very, very amazing to see how they all interact with each other. And it's just great. Like, I don't know how to describe it. Just watch it. Just watch it. But the best character in the anime, and the character that makes all of this, if you haven't already picked up on it, is Mama Isabella. As I talked earlier, the facial expressions things, that is phenomenal. That is amazing. That adds so much to the anime. But aside from that, Mama Isabella is a terrifyingly insidious character because she is always in control. And the way they've shown that in the anime is amazing. And then the way they've shown how Mama Isabella breaks when she is losing that control is also very well done. And these little things, these little interactions of cat and mouse chase that they've shown through verbal dialogue or through actions are amazing. And it just connects so well for Mama Isabella's character as it goes further down the line. I do not want to spoil Mama Isabella's character, but trust me, it is phenomenal because they have shown a terrifyingly insidious character that you should hate. Technically, you should genuinely hate this character, but somehow, it is the most sympathetic character in the anime that you don't hate towards the end, and it's amazing what they've done with this character. And then when you just rewatch the anime and you see the things that she's doing, it just makes a lot of sense according to her character, the decisions that she's made and everything. It's amazing, and just go and watch it. Just go and watch it and you'll understand what I'm trying to say, because I genuinely do not want to spoil this for you. Just think of this as me recommending the anime to you. Please go and watch it. It's amazing. It is very good. And yeah, aside from that, the anime is a very good watch. It has amazing interactions, amazing moments in it. It even has a training arc, so the shonen bits are still in there. And yeah, it's very sad for me to think that this anime is something that I really, really enjoyed, something that managed to genuinely induce horror, anxiety, and tension in me, got really butchered by its season 2. Like, it's genuinely sad that something like that happened, but hey, what you gonna do? And yeah, I genuinely hate the second season. Oh my god, I hate the second season. And if it wasn't for the second season, I probably would have scored this a solid 9 out of 10 like I did for season 1. But just because the second season has left that taste in my mouth of dissatisfaction, the anime gets a solid 8 out of 10. And even though I know there is no point in watching the anime because the second season's pretty bad, like, why would I watch the anime? Trust me, the first season still stands on its own very well, and I would still highly recommend everyone to go and watch the anime because it genuinely is that good. So yeah, go watch Promised Neverland and you'll be utterly surprised at how good a shonen can be.